Learn chess from greatest. In this video, I will show you 3 games of young Garry Kasparov and we will learn chess from his games. The first one game really caught my eyes when I saw it first time. And I'm pretty sure that all other games I will show you will like, and especially the last one. My name is Pavel Martinov and welcome you to my YouTube channel, and let's start. This game Kasparov played with white against Ralph Akason, and in this position he made really nice move bishop takes f6. Actually, it seems very logical, because after rook f6 he pushed e5, and right here in this position we can see that black queen is far away from the king and all our pieces are ready to attack this king, and actually our pawns wants to go up, making some extra danger for black. Here the best move was to play rook f7, and after f6, rook f8, rook f3. This position is really crazy, very unclear, but according to the modern analytics this is a draw, like everything in chess right now actually, because of the computer. But from the practical side, black played rook h6. That seems really very logical. First of all, black wants to protect h7 pawn. In some cases this bishop will have influence after f6 on h7 pawn, and actually at the same time black rook makes some pressure to white's king on like h2 somewhere. So rook h6 looks very logical. f6 Kasparov played, but actually he has a really strong attack because of all these powerful pieces, and again this queen is really far away. It was like a Kasparov rule that he checked full board divided for 2 parts, and if he saw that most pieces are, for example, here, see, and most pieces of black are here, seems that this king must be in danger, and he can use this with a combination or some strong move as well. So it was like his role, his tip that I want to share with you. Rook c7 to protect g7 pawn against queen g7 checkmate. e6, we are going up with our pawns, looks very dangerous for black. And here Akason found the best move in the position, queen d8. He wants to connect the queen to the defense, and actually at the same time he is ready to give back some material, because after e7 he played rook takes x7, takes. So actually it's a typical defending tool. When you have extra material you can give back some material and make the position more simple, that can be simple for you to defend this position. So rook bc1, very nice move, increasing the rate of treatments, because he wants to go rook c7 right now with a treatment to this king. And actually in z-note Akason made here really bad move. The best was to play queen e6 to make some queen transfer, and the variation can be like this, for example, takes, rook c7, takes. This position is actually for sure better for white, but still it made some troubles for white to play. After queen d8, it's impossible to rescue the position. Queen f5. The attack is very dangerous, because I want to push queen to f7 with the treatment to the king and bishop at the same time. That's why Akason played here bishop d6. Bishop d6 was possible, but actually after some moves, the window as well here, and rook c7, because it's impossible to take on c7, I will push the queen to f8 with a checkmate after takes. Yes, so this variation after this window, it's a kind of zugzwang, because we avoided the treatment of rook h2, and our attack is very, very powerful. Again, we have the idea of rook c7 somewhere, like it was after bishop c8, yes, directly. So this position is really bad for black. Akason played queen b8 and to protect this bishop, but after queen f7, king h8, rook c7, same time I want to checkmate, and same time I want to take the bishop on the b7, and black resigned. So a very nice game from Garry Kasparov, from young Garry Kasparov, when he sacrificed the bishop on f6 for just a pawn, and he underlined the best positions of his pieces to start this attack. So let's go to the next example. Believe me, this example is very, very interesting, and you will feel young Kasparov better after this. This game we will start from the beginning, because it was some interesting moments of the openings. And Kasparov played against Ulf Andersson, so was Knight f3, b6, a3. Kind of a popular move. Another one is g3, the main line for modern theory. So a3, bishop b7, knight c3. The strategical idea that there's no more bishop b4 because the pawn is protecting. So the main line for now is d5 here. And Anderson played knight d4. So also possible move, but d5 looks more solid because we are not playing twice in the opening with the already developed piece. So takes, knight d2. Interesting move. Kasparov idea, for example, after bishop b7 to push e4 to build up the strong center following bishop d3 and castle. So, of course, Black will have some counterplay, but still I believe that this position is better for white. So after knight d2, Anderson decided to push the bishop to g6, and because this bishop is right now out of this long diagonal, Kasparov made logical g3 to put the bishop to g2 to make some influence to this diagonal, yes? So it's very logical again. Knight c6, e3 to protect the pawn on d4, very important. And right here, Anderson played a6. It's a strange move because better was to continue the development probably. After a6, we can see that white will take some extra tempos in the development. b4 to push the bishop to b2 somewhere and take some space advantage. b5. That was the idea of black, and actually takes. Right now, it's not good to take on b5 because black can take on b4, and we can take on b4 because of rook takes a1. So be careful with tactics. That's why Kasparov played bishop b2. So right here, he wants to take on b5. Actually, better was to push the rook to b8, but still, it's very comfortable for white because they have more space advantage, and actually they have development advantage in development. So knight a7, and from strategical side it's kind of a logical idea because he wants to push the pawn to d5 and transfer somewhere a knight to c4, and if this will happen, everything will be good for black. But again, from the dynamic factors like advantage in development, that's not good that we are wasting time with black for such moves like a6, knight a7 in the very beginning. Yes, only 12 moves passed in this game. And Kasparov started his really attack. h4, h6. These moves are really good, and we will see in the future why it's very important to push h4, h6, because actually white wants to play h5 and after bishop f5 connect g4 and trap this bishop. So that's why h6 from the practical side seems logical. h5 was better according to the variations that appeared in the game, but h6 we will see seems logical. And here really brilliant move from Kasparov. That seems that he understanding chess in the very high level. d5. So I want to break up all plans of black to unlock our bishops, and after it takes bishop g2. So right now I want to take on d5. c6 seems very logical, and castle. So what do we have in this position? We have strong bishop, we have this knight out of the game, we have this king that is in the center, and we have the idea to unlock the position completely after e4. So this position is very dangerous for black, and actually they have an extra pawn, but this extra pawn is not helping. The initiative of Kasparov is too high here. So f6, because after bishop e7, for example, Kasparov can take on g7 to destroy the position of the king side, so it's no more castle for black, and actually it will be equal even after bishop takes g7 by the material. So f6 is to maybe push the king to f7 or to play bishop e7 following castle. Rook e1, maybe e4 immediately was more active. Rook e1, bishop e7, and queen g4. And right now we see the importance of h4, h6, because right now white wants to take on g6 this pawn with the queen, and bishop h7 is not the move because I can take on g7, destroying black's position completely. So king f7 the only one, but after h5, bishop h7, I'm starting my attack e4. So I want to unlock the position of this king, to unlock all my bishops, make this position open, and start a final attack. Takes, takes. So it's very good that we exchanged the light bishops, because right now we can see that all these squares are very weak. I mean g6, h7, f5, and because of the pawn on h5 and queen on g4, white can use these squares for white squares to the attack. So here, trying to connect this piece to the game, rook d1. I want to bring the final rook to the game, and actually I have the idea of rook d7 right now, rook a7, and the final combination, because all white pieces, they are really great. I mean, best positions for all pieces. Knight takes f6. It's impossible to take by bishop, because I will check here, take on f6. Now, right now, after queen f6, the checkmate is immediately. Takes by the pawn, I can play rook e6. I want to take on f6, and I will take material advantage after this, and it's impossible to take a rook because I will take a queen winning position for white. So that's why in the game black decided to take by the pawn, check here, and actually nice like from geometry, nice move, bishop c1. Right now bishop wants to take on h6 to increase the attack and increase the destroying of the position of black king. d5, trying to connect rook from a7 to the defense. Rook d4, another very interesting and good move. I want to bring my rook to g4 to continue with queen g7, and I don't need to take, nobody forced me to take immediately on h6, because I can take with my bishop on h6 every time I want. Knight d6, rook g4. Knight f7, trying to protect the rook, because after queen g7 I can play king a8 and my rook is protected by my knight. But again we have a combination. Bishop takes h6. Right here it's impossible to take by rook because of the checkmate. It's impossible to take by the knight because after this I can take. And I will take on h6 as well, and that's winning absolutely. And after king e8 that was in the game, Kasparov played bishop g7 and his opponent resigned. It's no more chances to make this position better for black, because after rook g8 I can play queen h7 taking the rook, I can play h6 with the idea of promoting this pawn. So actually this position is completely winning for white, completely. Again, very nice chess understanding by Garry Kasparov that he used on this position, and he found the d5 move in the opening. Yes, and he was on the very top level even when he was so young. Let's move to the next example, and believe me, you will see the typical position, but very rare and unusual maneuver by the Garry Kasparov. Feel this. So let's go to the next game. So Kasparov played with white, and this kind of a typical pawn structure, more typical for Benoni defense with bishop on g7, but still the bishop on f6 is quite the same. And actually typical for white here is knight c4, following e4, maybe f4, trying to make e5 in future and so on. But Kasparov surprised his opponent. He played knight to e4. So his idea actually, after rook e8, queen d2, he can follow g4, g5, taking space advantage on the king side, following with some attack, for example, f4, f5 somewhere after g4, g5. He's taking space advantage. It's no more move knight d7 because I will take on d6, and it's very actually a big problem for black what to do after this. a6, black tried to push b5. Like the typical here is a4 to prevent b5, but Kasparov played b4. So he's trying to unlock this flank as well. After take on b4, I can even play to a4. I will take back this pawn, and I have a strong initiative already on the queen side. So that's why black played bishop e7, takes, queen f4. Again, it's impossible to play knight d7 because I will take on d6, destroying black's pawn structure, and after I will take on c5 somewhere. It's very hard for black to find moves because Kasparov underlined the real features of the position, and he found that black will be in trouble with the developing of this knight and this rook, and he started this unusual plan. So queen c7, knight f4. I want to take on c5 using this pin, because you can't take by the d pawn. I will take the queen on c7. queen f5, rook b1. Right here, I want to push my knight to b6, and at the same time, I am taking this bishop on my target. Here, knight b6, takes, rook a7. Seems that everything is good for black, but actually Kasparov prepared something. He counted this variation, I believe, and he saw at the very beginning that he can play knight c8. A very, very impressive move. It's impossible to take by the rook on c8 because I will follow queen f5, double treatment, h7, c8, and actually I'm winning because after, for example, rook d8 is the checkmate immediately here, and the checkmate is on the board. So that's why his opponent tried to play knight c6. Yes, because it was a fork here and here. But actually, Kasparov just takes, and after bishop d5, his opponent resigned. Because after bishop f6, trying to protect this pawn on f7, Kasparov can play, for example, rook b7, double treatment to this pawn and to this knight, and this position is completely winning. So Kasparov made really unusual plan for such typical pawn structure, because he felt the real features of the position. We need to learn from his games. He was really great even when he was young. Actually, when I saw my game, this changed my understanding of such pawn structures completely. So we saw 3 examples of young Garry Kasparov games, and I think that you enjoyed these rare and interesting and somewhere unusual ideas. And I believe that you can learn something and take something from Kasparov games. I want you to subscribe for my YouTube channel to support me and wait for new videos. We will discover chess together. Thanks for this.